Wonderful. Well, good evening, everyone. It's such an exciting time of year. It's July 1st, and we had an incredible month. My name's Amy Holmwood. I'm a Pro 9 in LifeVantage. We just closed out our fiscal year, June 30th, 2018, and I know the company has had incredible growth, and we've had a number of success stories that have been part of our group. And I know everyone's been working so hard, and we should all be so proud to be a part of this company, LifeVantage, to where we are right now. I've been involved with the company for 5 years, and I feel like I'm just getting started. I feel like I'm in kindergarten, just learning about this incredible industry of direct sales. And every day is like a new adventure. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a couple really important things that are going to help you grow your business. I want to walk through just like a mindset. I did some training yesterday on the Proven Plan training call, which there's a recording on there that I did. It's called www.theprovenplan.com. And that's a really good training site that has a lot of resources for us to help us grow our businesses. But I was talking about mindset and just the mindset of a leader and the mindset of an entrepreneur, and the things that we have to do to be successful really in any business. We're going to learn those skills being involved in LifeVantage, because we have all these resources available. And one of those is this training call tonight, which I'm honored to participate in. But I'm going to be talking about the follow-up process. When you're in business and you're building a business, this is not a hobby. I mean, many of us are treating it that way, and that's fine. Everyone takes this, can take the time to do this, however they can figure out to do that. Some of us really are taking this very seriously, because this business can change people's lives tremendously from a financial perspective, and really put people in a position that they can't find anywhere else in the world, to give people the ability to work from their home, to work from really wherever they want to be able to be around their families while they're working, and to be able to help other people do the same thing. And everything we do is about caring and sharing for other people and making the world a better place. And so, but in that process, sometimes it's just so wonderful to be able to have these incredible products and to be able to share this information. But often we don't take it seriously like a business, where we're actually going to do the steps that it takes to grow a successful business. And often, we're recruiting people who haven't been business owners before. So they've sort of had a different type of a lifestyle where they were told what to do, and they had when they needed to show up for work, and the certain activities that they needed to do. And in this business, you're kind of on your own, in a sense of, nobody can force you to do anything. And so I want to just kind of I'm going to run through a few things, but the main essence of this is going to be on why and how we need to follow up with people after we take all this time to share information with people. And then why aren't we, or are we following up with people after we do that? And I think oftentimes people aren't following up because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of, if they don't call and they don't follow up, then they don't have to deal with that rejection that they may think they're going to get. And you guys, people are going to reject this. This is how it is. No matter what business you're in, if you're sharing something, not everyone's going to say yes to what you're sharing. If you've been in sales, not everybody wants, some people like green tea and some people like coffee. So you kind of have to think of it that way, as opposed to that they're rejecting you. You really want to think of, when you're going to go follow up with people, that you're really just asking them if they're really interested in this opportunity and the products we have. And if they're not, it's just really okay. And there's really nothing wrong with them saying no to that. So don't take it so seriously. Treat it like a business, like you're selling coffee or tea. I think because we have something so extraordinary, we take it really seriously into the heart, because we see what we have. And so we don't want anyone to miss out on that. But we're so emotionally connected to it that oftentimes we won't follow up properly, because we're afraid, that somebody's they're not going to accept this the way that we did. And for whatever reason, we're not used to that rejection. So we really need to find people, frankly, that are comfortable getting outside their comfort zone and getting rejected. And every time you do that and we follow up and we have these experiences, we become stronger, and we build up, a very mentally tough type of an approach, of a mindset, which we have to have. we have to be mentally strong in this to be able to have the courage to continue to build this, and also to have the vision of where this is going and to be able to see it before it actually happens. And that takes really mental toughness and just training your brain to think a different way. And so part of that is follow-up. So I'm going to go through some slides, and then I'm going to introduce our guest, Dr. Melody Rodarte, and I'm going to tell you her background when I turn it over to her. But I'm going to start off with some slides that maybe help you guys to, and I know this is recorded, so this will help you to, see things just on paper. So we have got two real professionals on here, and I think Melody, didn't you hit are you the rank of Pro 6 or Pro 7? I couldn't remember. So
Pro 6.
Okay, good. So you just hit the rank of Pro 6. I'm so excited for you. You've been such a resource to this company, and we're it's such a blessing to be able to attract people with your resume and just your caring and sharing of what we have our hands on here. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about just some of the training and the mentality of where we are. And so when you're thinking about this follow-up, you want to think about why you're doing it. What is the reason that you're doing these things? And I'm going to walk through the 4 pillars of our business. But what is the reason that you're taking the time to do this? It's for you to create the life of your dreams. That's really what I'm doing this for. And I think many people that we share this information with, they're doing it for that same reason. So when you think about following up with people, think about why you're doing this and why this can change your life. And if the person hadn't followed up with you, that you wouldn't have had this opportunity, and really feel proud to be following up with people. Even if they reject it, you'll know that you did your part to share this information. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? And are the daily steps and activities that you're doing going to take you there? And that you have to get really honest with yourself about this, because oftentimes, we're just not doing those daily activities that we learn in this business, that we've been given this incredible training from all of the leaders in the company. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before, where you literally can learn from people that have had experience in this industry, and also that really care about you, and they're going to hold your hand the whole way. So look at those daily steps, and this is some of the stuff we're going to talk about. And when you think about the vision of, what path are you on and where are you going, and are the things you're doing going to take you there? These 4 pillars of this business system are going to give you that blueprint, if you will, that foundation to be able to grow a successful business, even if you've never done this before. And I've never been involved in this industry. I was in another industry in financial services for 30 years, and I was successful in that industry, but I was really crappy at follow-up. I just want you guys to know. I don't know why Maria keeps picking me to do follow-up, and it must be like karma, because I stink at it. I'm one of those people. It takes certain personalities to be able to be good at certain things. I'm the quick start. I like to go out and do the hunt and find the person and then let somebody else follow up. I just want to go pitch the deal and tell them why it's so amazing what we have, and then go to the next person and pitch the deal. That was kind of what I did really well in my business. And then I needed somebody else to call and say, hey, Amy's really busy, but she really wants to see you next Tuesday. Will you take a meeting with her? I don't have anyone to do that. I probably could do that, but that's not something we duplicate. But I'm just telling you, think about the things you're really good at. One of those things is going to need to be, even if you stink at it, you're going to have to do follow-up. And there's going to be a number of ways you can do that that'll make it easier for you that I'm going to talk about. But the 4 pillars are the blueprint, and that is really the foundation piece of our business. It's our training. And now that's all available on the LifeVantage app. So you're going to be able to download that, which hopefully most of you have. The blueprint is now that training of the foundation of our business. The first pillar of that is this blueprint. How do we get started? What do we say to people when we, how do we do a meeting? How do we set up a meeting properly? All of those things that we need to know in this business are in that blueprint. The next piece is the event cycle. And I'm just going to mention this right now because we have an event coming up. Every 3 months, we have a corporate event, and those are called Elite Academies, and they're 2 days long. And that's where you're going to learn. You're going to be trained on the science. You're going to be listening to leaders. You're going to be watching people and hearing their stories, learning how to build this business, and building your belief in why and how this is possible for you. And so those event cycles are critical. And there are 3 Elite Academies, and there's 1 global convention every 18 months. So I really encourage you guys to go to that meeting in Anaheim. It's July 12th through the 14th. So it starts on the 13th in the morning at 9 a.m. And it's just going to be incredible. We have a whole plethora of things you can learn from the app to run your business, to see all the different meetings that are there. The next piece is the core habits. So what are the core habits of a successful leader in this business? And what are the things that you have to do to successfully run your business on a daily basis? And one of those things is follow-up. And I'm going to talk about that specifically, but it's really those daily activities that a person needs to have to at least take an hour a day if you can. I know most of us have other jobs that are joining this company, but if you can just fit in a little bit every day of these daily activities, you will be blown away at how your business will grow. And then the fourth pillar is the personal growth and leadership development. And that is really where we have an opportunity to grow as people, to grow as leaders. And this is how we develop ourselves into the high ranks of the company, because unless you're developing yourself as a leader, getting in front of the room, doing meetings, pushing yourself to go do things that you are making you uncomfortable, picking up the phone and talking to people, all those things are going to make you grow. And also reading books, going to the trainings, participating in everything, all the calls that the company is hosting, all your leadership calls, learning how to be a leader in this business and having that leadership mindset. Those four pieces are non-negotiable. And so whenever somebody shares this business with you, if you could just understand that if you just follow those four things and you don't question them, you will be in the same place I am. It took me 3.5 years to get to Elite Pro 9. And it's just been an incredible journey. And I've learned so much, and I'm just beginning. Like I said, I feel like I'm in kindergarten. So the fifth piece to the blueprint is follow-up. And this is really simply, what are we saying to people when we follow up with them? How are we following up with people? And I'm not going to go through the first 30 days. I can send this to anybody. And obviously this is recorded so you can see this slide. But there is like this, you have this time when you start that you've got 30 days and you're like, okay, I'm all in, I'm going to do this. And there's stuff you need to do during that period. And then after that, you're going to start following up, because you're going to have a database of people that you've started to talk to. And you have this funnel where you're always putting new people in the funnel. And to take all that time, it's so counterintuitive. You take all this time to do all this stuff, and then you don't follow up with anybody after you did all that. Like you created this huge funnel of things, and then you just let it be stuck in there. And it never comes out the other side without a follow-up. So I really encourage you guys this is one of the most important aspects of our business. The first is creating your database and then getting this information in front of 200 to 300 people, literally. I mean, the blueprint says 50 to 100. The more people you get this in front of, the faster your business is going to grow. And then you're going to follow up. So you're going to have this huge funnel of people that you're going to be able to follow up with. And then from there, this is part of the core habits. How are you going to follow up with people? You've got your phone, so you're going to call people. Now, a lot of people don't answer their phones anymore. You leave them voice messages. Frankly, if you call me on my cell phone, it'll say, I don't check this very often. If you really want to get in touch with me right away, send me a text. And I'll be able to respond to that. So again, texting people and saying, hey, I loved us talking last week. Can we get together again on this conversation? Sending an email to people, sending them information. There's so much incredible information to be able to provide people on our company, on our products, and on our business. So we have that as well. And then social media is an incredible way to follow up with people through Facebook Messenger, also with Facebook groups. You can put people in Facebook groups, and there's a tremendous amount of training now on this that whoever your upline is, you can talk to about that. But you want to connect with people right away after you have shared this information with them, either via phone, face-to-face, or in a meeting. Literally within 24 hours, you're going to want to make some kind of a contact with them. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated you taking the time to take a look at this. I told you that I was going to follow up with you, and I hope that you've had a chance to read the material that I sent you, because you're always going to give people homework when you meet with them or talk with them. You're always going to give them something. And you're going to say to them, if I sent you some information, would you take a look at it? And then I can call you tomorrow. And, from there, you may have some more questions. Would you take a look at that if I sent that to you? And they're going to say yes. So you give them that homework. And then when you call them, you actually have a reason. You say, oh, I sent you that study or whatever. There may be different things that these people are interested in receiving once you have talked to them the first time. And then you're going to keep in touch with people, every 60 to 90 days. You're going to be constantly re-inviting them, because some people, it does take time. I just had a call earlier, a woman named Joy Hawk. She reached the rank of Pro 5. She's not in my group, but I was on a leadership call with her, and listening to her, it took her almost 2 years. And she's going to do really well in this company. 2 years of following up with her. Dr. Kat Caden was following up with her for 2 years. And now, she's a Pro 5 and she's on her way to the elite ranks. So I'm just saying, it's consistency, and it's that consistency in the follow-up, and always having, every time you follow up with them, give them something else to be professional. So it's just like any other business, you guys. Now, if you haven't been in business before, you don't just follow up and say, hey, how are you? Just checking in. You're not going to do that. You have a specific purpose that you're calling them for. I told you I'd follow up with you. I gave you that stuff to read. Thanks for your time. Did you have a chance to take a look at it? You always want to be very professional, because people are actually interviewing you about your business. They're actually watching you and seeing what you're doing. So if you're not following up with people, why would they want to do business with you if you don't even call them and thank them after they've come or given you some time? You want to at least do that. If that's all you have the courage to do the first time you follow up, is just to say thank you. I would really encourage that, because that's really important for you to establish credibility. So what did you like about what you heard? About whatever you shared with somebody, every single time you can say that. If you sent them a study to read, what did you like about the study? What did you like about the meeting? What did you like about the webinar I just sent to you with Dr. Rodarte? On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself? Where are you in this decision-making process of either being a customer or being a distributor? And don't be afraid to ask those questions, because people don't know what's next. They really don't know. You've given them this information. They're assuming things. Oh, this person's going to try to sell me pills, or this person's going to try to sign me up in something, or this person, they don't even know. A lot of times I've had people say, I don't understand what you guys want from me. I've been on 3-way calls, and then at the end they're like, this is really interesting, but I don't know what you guys want. So you always want people to understand what your goal is. And that is really, we're sharing information with people. We're looking for people that are interested in health for themselves and their family. And we're also looking for people that are interested in, entrepreneurship. Those are the things we're looking for. So when you listen to this information, think about those two things, with regard to the information that we're going to share with you tonight. On a scale of 1 to 10 at the end, what was interesting to you about this? Was it the business? Was it the products? What is about this is interesting to you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put that? So, and then also make, that decision-making process. Whenever you follow up with people, you are closing all the time. You are mini closing all the time by kind of validating, what else can I do to help you move you along? Let's say they say I'm a 6. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would it take for me to move you up, closer? What else can we do to give you more information? Or how maybe I can get you on the phone with some people, what can I do to help you with that? And then you want to be quiet when you ask these questions, and let people think, because a lot of times they really do need time to think. And so don't just jump when there's silence after you ask a question. Like the first person that talks really, you're in control of the conversation when you ask that question, and then you let the other person answer. So you always want to be finding out what they need. And again, one of the things I like to do is I like to introduce them to other people as part of the follow-up. So you're going to be giving them information, but one of the best and most effective thing we can do is introduce them to somebody else in LifeVantage, and you can make a suggestion. I know you were really interested in the science. I'd really love to connect you with some of the people that really have incredible information about this. Could we set up a time for you to talk to one of the physicians or whatever in your group, people that you're connecting to. The app is amazing. We can send videos, we can send blogs. There's a lot of material there that's already set up on the app. I'm still getting trained on it. I haven't figured out how to use it fully. I was using some of the other apps before, but we do have an artificial intelligence app that's going to really be able to tell us kind of how to grow our business faster. And part of that's going to be more effectively following up and finding out if people actually looked at the information that we sent. Also sending research. We don't want to inundate people with all their research, and because not everybody, understands this stuff. And a lot of them, frankly, they don't really care. I have some people in my business, they're like, I can sell stuff really well. And, I love people, and I don't really want to be the person to talk about all the science. So if I had followed up with that person and just sent them a bunch of research, they would have thought they had to read all that and understand it. And I wouldn't have had that person as a distributor. So you really want to understand where people are coming from. And part of that follow-up is asking the questions. What is it about this? What information do you like about this? Do you like more, do you like to keep it simple? Or are you like a science geek? Tell me a little bit more about what you like about this. Try to find out what they need so you can give them the information that makes them feel comfortable joining us in this business. Also, you're going to be inviting them to come on to Zoom meetings like this one tonight is a great follow-up to say, hey, why don't you come and listen to one of the trainings and see kind of, how we work as a team and how we're going to hold your hand and teach you how to do this. And then follow through on what you say you're going to do. Whenever you say you're going to do something, do it. Make a calendar note on your phone. Say, okay, I'm supposed to call this person back. I said I was going to send this information, and just follow through on what you say you're going to do and be consistent with that, because again, they're interviewing you in this business. And then, a lot of times it would be helpful if we had an accountability partner, because everyone has a challenge with this. We're all super busy. And I think this is the one area where follow-up, it's just not fun. And it's the time when we're probably going to get rejected. I mean, listen, people reject this information like they reject everything. And, we don't like to do that. So why not have an accountability partner that's going to do the same thing at the same time? So set goals for that, maybe, deadlines to say, okay, I'm going to do 10 follow-ups this week. I have this many people in my funnel to follow up with. These are the things I'm going to send out. And then have a regular check-in time with your accountability partner and, support each other, because we all need to be lifted up. And that's what's so great about our company, that we're able to share information with people and all help each other, working together. I'm not going to go through resolving concerns because that's not the training tonight, but I do think that the more we can understand how to resolve concerns and what the objections are and being comfortable with that, the more comfortable we are with following up, because we will have some concerns that need to be resolved when we follow up with people. So the better we get at this, the mastery that we have in this training is going to further propel our businesses. The doing is where you're going to learn this stuff, you guys. You can read about it, you can study it, but until you start doing it, and so you can even pull these things up when you're on the telephone. You can actually have slides in front of you and have notes and just read stuff. But you do want to be authentic to yourself. You do want to use words that are authentic to you, because people are going to notice. The people are going to notice if there's something weird about you, if they know you. So really be authentic and be yourself. So, when you follow up with people, if you're a conversationalist and you just want to chat a little bit, do that. Don't just all of a sudden just go, on a scale of 1 to 10, what'd you like? And the person's like, they've never heard you say anything like that before. So you want to use your own personality and your own authenticity, because that's how you're going to have people trust you in this. And they're going to also know that they can be themselves too. So it's pretty simple, you guys. I mean, there's not really any magic to this, but this is a key critical component right here. And that is that the majority of people do not follow up. Look at this. 45% of distributors in our industry follow up one time, and only 2% of the people join on the first follow-up. So you just look at the math. 28% follow up twice and only 3% join. 12% follow up 3 times and 5% join that. 5% of the people follow up 5 to 12 times and 80% join at that point. So look at where the activity is. And literally, if you feel like you're being, like a pain calling people, you can say to them, I know the statistics in this business, and I'm just telling you that I need to follow up with you 5 to 12 times. And that's okay with me. I'm just letting you know that it might take you that long. It's okay. I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to be there to do that. So I just want you to know that that's what I'm doing, because I want to give you the space you need to figure this out, because this is what worked for me, or however you want to say that. But you can let people know that this is part of the mathematics of a successful business. And so if they understand that, that's going to be something that they're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it. This is just how it works. And the more people understand how this thing works, the higher the probability is that they're going to join you in the business, because you're giving them information that they didn't know before, because people don't understand how this works. They have no clue. When we're asking them to join our business, they have no idea what they're saying yes to. They have absolutely no clue what they're saying yes to, unless they've been in the industry before. I had no idea what this was when I said yes to this. I didn't know we had to follow up 5 to 12 times, in this industry. It's the same in my business, in the insurance business. It's no different. And, it's the same. If people are the same, that, human beings are pretty much the same. And, they need time to decide, what they're going to do. But the one piece, you guys, is the secret of success is that you form the habits of doing things failures don't like to do. And so this is like, my dad read this to me when I was 12. It's a little teeny yellow book. I used to keep it with me everywhere. And it literally was the common denominator of success, whether you like it or not, is that you're willing to do things failures aren't willing to do. And that is the bottom line. And if you're not willing to do those things, you're not going to be successful in any business. You're going to go work for somebody else, and that's totally fine. That's okay. But in this business, you guys, we have to be really, really realistic and honest with ourselves, whether we're really going to be able to do this. And that is that you're going to be doing things that most people aren't willing to do. And one of those things is following up 5 to 12 times. So I'm going to turn this over. I want to tell you guys about Melody. And I'm going to stop the screen share. And this woman is absolutely incredible. I mean, we are just so blessed in this company. We have hundreds of physicians. Melody is from Arizona. She went to ASU, undergrad in biology, and Midwestern University, graduated as a DO, internal medicine residency in 2002 through 2005, with being the chief of residency in 2005, 2006. She's board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine, which is a huge, huge sector in medicine right now. And she's actually been, she's been voted the #1 obesity medicine doctor in Arizona, actually, which is like incredible that she has given that accolade. So this is a huge research area that she has mastered, obviously. So having somebody with this kind of knowledge about our products and being able to learn from her tonight is it's just mind-boggling to me that we have this. So Melody, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks a lot, Amy. I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you, and finances and going that route has always been a mystery. That business part, I think sometimes we as physicians are not very good with that. So I love being able to bounce things off of you. So this company is definitely allows everybody to take their tools that they know so well and then gel with people and learn a new trade. And so that is definitely what I'm learning too. I've never knew what network marketing was prior to 3.5 years ago. So I'm a work in progress too. I love my mentors. They keep telling me what to read and what to do, and I just follow the leader. So I love probiotics. I'm excited that I want to share a little bit with you. I'm really into giving visuals and educating, and I'll be quick because I know it's Sunday night and I want you guys all to have time with family. But I like this picture to start it off with because it gives you a good visual. So our gut is really from mouth to rectum, if you can kind of see that on the left-hand side. And probiotics line the entire mucosal membrane from mouth to rectum. And that is something that is we have to take care of. A lot of people only think about this as, what does your poop look like? And it's more than just that. So on the right-hand side, you can kind of see how our cells look like with the little fingers up there. That's where a lot of absorption, digestion, that's where the probiotics like to sit. We are just, there's an incredible amount of microorganisms that sit in those areas. And I like this picture because on the left-hand side, you can see what tight junctions need to look like. And I'm sorry, my pointer's not really working well, but you can see where it says tight junctions. And so things are not going to get between the cells, as you can see then on the right-hand side, And then there can be a problem with the cell integrity too, where things are going to make it through the cell that are not supposed to, and that's all the way to the right. So when those things happen, you can get leaky gut. And you can see how the cell is adjacent to the bloodstream. And so when things get into the bloodstream that they're not supposed to, that's when an immune response can happen. That's when, you can have inflammation happen. Autoimmunity is when things get turned on that are not supposed to get turned on into our cells. That's a lot of autoimmune processes. And then, of course, malabsorption, nutrition deficiency. So kind of keep this, these two pictures in mind when I'm explaining a couple items. But I'm just gonna, this is what I had presented. So I'm gonna go through some of it kind of more quickly, except for the important slides. So the probiotics, what are their functions, right? So digestion, metabolism, absorption, our immune system, 60 to 70%, some even say up to 80% of our immune system starts in our gut. There are little patches there that are called Peyer's patches. That is kind of the brain of the body saying when there's a pathogen, that is entered. Our mood, if you have been watching the Broken Brain series, it talks about our gut being our second brain. And so we need our gut. That's where a majority of serotonin is released. About 85% of our serotonin is released from our gut. So that's our happy our happy hormone, if you want to think of it that way. Weight management, insulin resistance starts in the gut. So if we cannot say when we're full, so those hormones that tell us when we're full, or insulin is not being looked at appropriately, we can have weight issues, our balance of nutrition, and then our guts will tell us when there are allergies or allergens happening. So that's also important. And then the integrity. And that was that first slide that I was showing you, where we want the permeability to stay low in majority of the cases, and the tight junctions, always we want them to stay tight so that our gut has the say of whether something passes go or not, right? So those are multiple probiotic functions there that we need in order to function properly and keep ourselves healthy. To break it down, this can be too busy of a slide, so typically I won't show this in a presentation. I'll show this one that a lot of us have that slide shows that was put together by some of our top leaders that we can use. And I think it's easy to explain it to someone if you use this slide, but on the right-hand side, it's showing you what leaky gut can mean. All right, so in our brain, it can lead to depression, anxiety, ADHD. In our skin, so many times people think that their skin, the issues that they're having is what they have to just put something topically on. They're not even thinking about what are they eating or how is their gut functioning. But eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, even acne, it does make a difference what our gut function is. And a lot of times we'll put someone on a good probiotic and the skin manifestations of what's going on in their gut will resolve. Thyroid. T4 is converted to T3 in our gut. So it doesn't matter whether or not we have thyroid issues, that's where the conversion is happening. If we do have thyroid issues, it's even more important for us to have a healthy gut because we are not converting T4 to T3, the active form, appropriately. And then those antibodies can also increase when you're thinking of Hashimoto's or hypothyroid or Graves'. You need the gut to be intact in order for that immune response to be decreased. It's not just at the level of the thyroid. Colon, of course, we know most of the time IBS, but there's even IBD, there's gastroparesis, there's so many other gut issues. So we need those probiotics to digest and to continue to increase the function of our colon. Our adrenal glands are part of this. Joints, think about some of you who are gluten sensitive or have celiac, and you have a lot of gluten and you wake up and you're like, why does it feel like I'm 50 or 60, 70 years old? My joints are creaking. And that's because it's triggered an immune response. The same thing can happen in our sinuses. I have a few patients that they will eat cheese and their nose starts to run and they're thinking, why is this happening? So these are all symptoms of leaky gut. And if we are not ingesting good probiotics, this will not be healed. This will continue. It doesn't matter how many Band-Aids you put on this, which then could actually lead to more issues. You've got to have a good probiotic. And so then I go into why, we're doing this as training for our group. So I want to train you, like, why is it important? What makes ours stand out, right? So you can kind of go over to the left-hand side and you can talk about that we have 6 billion CFUs. One of the questions might be, why do we only have 6 strains, and why do we only have such a low number? And I want to tell you, you can rest assured in the answer of, because we make it through the stomach. We do not need to use billions and billions and billions of CFUs, because ours works. Ours gets through the stomach into the small and large intestine. And it's because we have that BioTrek technology. That BioTrek technology is patented and shown that 60 to 70% of the probiotics survive the stomach acid and then are laid down in the small and large intestine. And it is pH dependent, okay? I think I've got another slide that I'll go over that with you. And then the other slide I'll go over is the Wellmune. Wellmune is very well researched. There are studies on PubMed showing that it is helpful for not only digestion, but immune system. There are several studies that showed that it decreased the duration of cold and allergies by being on this beta-1,3 on Wellmune. It's a beta-1,3,1,6 glucan. Sorry, I had to think about it twice. I've got too many things in my head. So and let me kind of go to that part, what the specifics on our strains, because a lot of people want to know why were these picked. And I will tell you, the majority of the ones that we have picked are very well researched in studies. We know their activity. Okay, so there's 4 lactobacillus strains and 2 bifidobacterium strains. The 4 lactobacillus, they're really vital to digestion. They protect our gut. They survive the entire gut. They help with permeability. They keep yeast in balance. Okay, yeast is not all the way bad, but like everything else, like a lot of us have C. diff. It's the balance. It doesn't mean that if we have it, that we have to start on antibiotics and kill it. That's when we get more issues. It's when there's an imbalance that then things happen. Okay, toxins can be released. And you can see the Lactobacillus rhamnosus, that it's decreasing those food allergens and sensitivities. Again, super important. And then we need these, the lactobacillus strain specifically to help with protecting our gut and decreasing tumor production if it's starting to occur. The bifidobacterium, the 2 strains in there, like the large intestine, they are very good with metabolism as far as us gaining weight, as well as not gaining weight, taking care of cholesterol issues, insulin issues, and then helping our immune system overall. So we have different pHs from stomach all the way to rectum. So the way that Wellmune is put together, the way that our probio is put together is it is going to be put into 2 spheres, okay? And each layer of the sphere is going to dissolve at a different pH, and each probiotic is then laid down in each place that it's supposed to. That is why it is so potent. That is why it is leaps and bounds ahead of other probiotics that are out there. And so this goes over it a little bit more, where, of course, we talked about it being a sphere-shaped. Do not crush it. I get that question. Do not crush our probiotic. Put a little bit of coconut oil or olive oil on it if you still have a problem swallowing it, despite us making it from a larger sphere to a smaller sphere. Do not crush it. That's the biggest take home right now. And then just know that it is time release. That's the beauty of this. So it's continuing to release throughout the small and large bowel and delivering those probiotics where they need to work. They does not need to be refrigerated. And then more specifics on the Wellmune, it is a prebiotic, okay? It's a beta-glucan, well studied. It's priming the immune system. It's decreasing inflammation. Again, it's reducing the duration of colds and flus, and it's helping our mood, our neurotransmitters. You gotta have a healthy gut there to have a happy brain. And so I wanted to just kind of go over those specifically because, where's my stop share? There it is. Because I think that's a lot of the issues. People don't know how to talk about the difference between our probiotic. And so 1, it doesn't need to be refrigerated. That's really important. 2, our technology is so important that we don't need to have 100 billion strains. 3, the Wellmune in there, and so feel proud about talking about our probiotic and tell people that it's more than just, you know, what's your poop look like? I always get people like, oh, I poop just fine. I'm like, well, I do too, but let me tell you about the food that I eat and that I've taken I've taken antibiotics at least a dozen times in my life. It's not my first thing that I want to do, but taking an antibiotic can change your gut flora for up to 10 years. And so I want a healthy gut because I want a healthy body. So you can just kind of talk about each one of those things. And it's amazing how many people have actually leaky gut now. And so they are looking for something to help create a well colon system. And they don't want to go do some other harsh things that are out there to help their colon work. So that's my part.
Awesome. Melody, thank you so much. That was incredible. I would love to see those slides. I mean, I know this stuff's available somewhere, but that was fantastic. And, you know, our products are just, every time I hear more about this, I get more excited because we really do have the research to back up that we do have the best products on the market. I'm constantly traveling. I've been going all over the world, working with different leaders in, you know, different parts of Asia. And there's so many products out there, and you guys, head and shoulders, we really have a very unique company in that sense. So like Melody said, be really proud of the things that we have, and let's get out there and share this with people. You guys, it's July 1st. We're kind of halfway through the year. Look forward to seeing you all at Elite Academy on July 13th and 14th, and look forward to next Sunday's call with another training. Thank you so much. Take care, Melody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.